Welcome to the restoration process of the four-stroke small engine block. The technician is conducting a preliminary surface inspection of the components. Heavy dirt has accumulated in the combustion chamber. She uses a clean cloth to wipe the surface of the gas tank cover and the recoil starter assembly. She pulls the starter cord to check the compression. However, the engine completely fails to ignite. A few peaceful nature shots to help relieve stress before moving on to the mechanical disassembly. Back to the engine block, she proceeds to lift and rotate the pump to get an optimal working angle. The lower crankcase area is covered in thick oil. This is a sign of a leak from the gaskets and seals, causing pressure loss in the engine. Opening her specialized toolbox, she puts on medical gloves to protect her skin from chemical solvents. She carefully inspects the aluminum alloy centrifugal pump chamber assembly. This part is attached directly to the crankshaft. The technician uses a hand tool set, beginning to select a 6-point socket and an appropriately sized wrench. Rearranging the cable coils and tidying up a workspace neatly to prepare for the removal of the carburetor assembly. She accurately locates the air intake system situated right above the carburetor on the side of the engine block. She uses a box end wrench to remove the series of bolts, skillfully removing the flexible plastic air filter cover. The foam air filter sponge is clogged with dirt, restricting oxygen flow and causing an incorrect air-fuel mixture ratio. She lays a plastic sheet on the ground to create a drip tray for the cleaning solution, complying with safety and hygiene protocols. Once the air filter assembly is removed, the entire carburetor is completely exposed, ready for the disconnection step. She uses specialized needle nose pliers to unhook the springs of the governor and the throttle age extremely carefully. Ensuring absolutely no deformation to the springs. Afterward, the technician gently pulls the carburetor out from the carburetor guide studs. Using a bottle of cleaning solvent, she sprays it directly onto the carburetor body to dissolve the old grease buildup. She uses a brush to scrub the nooks and crannies thoroughly, focusing on the venturi area and the choke valve pivot shaft. The carburetor relies on vacuum pressure to draw in fuel. Any dirt stuck here will clog the jets. She uses an absorbent black cloth to wipe dry all the metal components after finishing the first cleaning step. The technician meticulously cleans every nook and cranny of the carburetor body with a felt cloth, completely removing the external grease. Helps in the early detection of micro cracks. She carefully observes the fuel float assembly and jets, ensuring there is no foreign debris obstructing them. Using a screwdriver and a wrench, she begins disassembling the fuel bowl at the bottom of the carburetor, carefully turning the drain bolt to avoid stripping the soft aluminum threads of the carburetor body. She continues using the specialized cleaning solvent, spraying it directly into the float bowl and the main jet holes. The pressure of the solution will dislodge the stubborn dirt, clinging tightly within the central fuel passages. Rechecking the bounce of the float needle. This mechanism controls the fuel level entering the combustion chamber. Pouring another thin layer of solution to rinse the surface of the chamber, ensuring absolute cleanliness and shine. Next, she proceeds to reassemble the fuel bowl, taking care to perfectly align the rubber gasket to prevent any leakage. She tightens the center nut with just enough torque to press the gasket firmly without deforming the bowl. Turning her attention to the engine block, the technician uses a cloth to wipe clean the mounting surface of the intake manifold. Spraying solvent to clean the engine block, she removes the crusted oil layer around the crankcase and connecting rod chamber. The contact surface must be completely smooth for the heat insulator gasket to maximize its sealing efficiency. She reinstalls the heat insulator gasket onto the two guide studs of the fuel intake chamber. Gently sliding the carburetor assembly back into its original position, she aligns it with the throttle age and governor system. Hooking the return spring back in place requires dexterity so that the throttle system operates smoothly. Holding the back cover of the air filter box, this part is covered in a lot of electrostatically adhered dirt. Use a soft cloth to roughly wipe away the thick dust. Before moving on to the step of deep cleaning with a stiff brush, soaked in cleaning solvent, continuously scrub the air dividing grooves to clear the air intake passage. Any obstruction in the intake passage will cause a drop in power and cause serious fuel consumption. Complete the cleaning process by thoroughly drying the plastic cover, ready for the alignment and assembly stage. Place the air filter base cover onto the two main bolt shafts, pressing it tightly against the carburetor surface to create a seal. Align the crankcase breather tube, connecting it straight to the air filter housing to recirculate harmful emissions. Use hands to loosely tighten the hexagonal nuts, temporarily securing the entire intake assembly before fully tightening. Evenly tighten both flange nuts to ensure the clamping force is distributed evenly on the gasket surface of the throttle valve. The technician uses a ring spanner to tighten the flange nuts, connecting the air filter. Standard tightening torque helps press the inner surface flat, absolutely preventing any secondary air leaks. Reconnect the crankcase breather tube to the filter box to recover and eliminate exhaust gases. Pour specialized cleaning solvent onto a felt cloth to proceed with cleaning the overall surface. Carefully wipe down the fuel tank and engine casing, removing the oxidation layer and dirt. A clean engine frame helps the engine dissipate heat through natural airflow to achieve maximum efficiency. Next, inspect the crankcase area. Underneath, covered in thick, oily mud due to a leaking crankshaft seal. Use a mini wire brush, scrubbing continuously to strip away carbon deposits and grease. Cleaning the engine base is crucial for the early detection of micro cracks on the aluminum block. Dry the pull start area, perform a preliminary check on the operation stroke of the starter cup and return mechanism. Add more cleaning solvent to polish the fuel tank cap and the cooling fan cover. Ensure the vent valve on the fuel cap is not clogged, avoiding a vapor lock situation. Wipe with a cloth to clean the entire pump body revealing the shiny appearance of the aluminum alloy casing. The basic mechanical maintenance process is now complete. The pump is moved down to a hard, flat surface. Preparing for the test run phase. Firmly position the engine block on the cement floor. Open the choke, set the idle throttle, and decisively pull the recoil starter cord a few times. The rotational movement transmitted through the flywheel creates a magnetic field, activating the high-voltage ignition coil. Despite cleaning the carburetor, the engine still cannot start. An in-depth inspection of the electrical system is required. The technician proceeds to clean up the workspace, neatly packing away her tools to prepare for the next repair stage.